Hello everyone, welcome back to the Solo Score Rush Tournament once again, back with yet another match on the B stream. Going to be having none other than trooperr Seed 53 and LassieNoki Seed 44 facing off against each other to see who is going to be eliminated from the tournament going into this round of 32 bracket. Both of these players have gone out of a pretty rough round of 64 matchup against individual players. And now they are here to seal the deal of one another's names. But before we get onto that, as usual, my name is EpicMan2. Do not look at my profile on the bottom right. That's not my name. I just put it there for filler. And joining alongside me is going to be none other than Poppy, as you can see here. Hello.
I mean, yeah, a more closer seeding. Like, the seed is definitely closer compared to what they faced in round of 64. 53 versus 44, so I am expecting a much closer matchup, I would say. Less of a uphill battle, rather. It would be a... Maybe there's some back and forth wins. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that would be what I'm expecting as well, at least looking at some of their round of 64 scores, because of the fact that both these players are able to at least pull off some pretty good scores on certain maps, whereas like in the certain numbers of these maps as well, some of them are going to be performing a bit less as insane as the other, basically. So... But besides that, we're going to be going on to the rolls, and so far we can see trooperr going to be rolling a 94, so basically just pushing the rolls out of the way. I think at that point, you could literally just give trooperr the trophy at this point before We can at least see the bans, as we can see.
Let's see.
I don't think there is any warm-ups.
Is it just like a random map that's in the lobby?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
I don't think there's a 1-star map in the map pool, unfortunately. I do think round of 32 is like pretty difficult.
Yeah, it usually is. But yeah, as we can see here so far, trooperr. Actually, no, is LassieNoki taking a first ban. It's going to be on LN2. So, as I didn't invent Daria Core, I did the LN density map, and trooperr going to be opting in response for the Snow Drive ban. So, both of these maps going to be taken off the board here. It's really now just down to trooperr to make the first pick now to see what can start this match off. There's a lot of maps that you can really just like kickstart this matchup specifically with, but it seems like they're going to be going for hybrid one, Crash Running Rendezvous.
This is our generic hybrid, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, it's like a little more stream-oriented, but also pretty technical. I mean, at this point, I don't really know. It's like kind of a mix of like bunch of different like elements, especially. Yeah, it's like the consistency oriented hybrid from what I can see here.
Let's see. It's our first map picked by trooperr, right? So, are you starting to see a slight lead from trooperr at the very beginning here with 9.8? Some of these speed sections are pretty rough, but Lassie actually having a really bad start at the start, but now already getting back to 9.6. As you can see in these right sections, Lassie is definitely holding pretty well.
Yeah, so far so good. For trooperr, there is already a pretty good lead, but even then, the lead is not safe enough for either of these players. As so far, any misjudgment from the side of trooperr can really just cost the lead in an instant. As we can see a bit, I think that was a crate that had been at least accidentally intrusively like thrown out there. I feel like with this map, it definitely makes a little more sense for trooperr, but even then, I feel like the biggest advantage comes mainly from the Rice, what I would benefit them in Brava, whereas on the contrary, LassieNoki, like, would find more of an advantage when it comes to some of these LNs, but taking a miss there, wait, both these players just traded it first thing.
That was a really rough drop from trooperr though. Dropping all the way back to 9.3, that is going to give Lassie a really solid lead with 9.5. Oh, what?
What? I think the match is trying to tell us something, don't you think?
Yeah, that was a miss from trooperr out of nowhere, giving Lassie a much bigger lead now.
Bro!
Whoa, as I say that, Lassie just finally missed back from that semi-break part, but the miss was definitely much cleaner than trooperr's one.
Oh, dude.
So score lead is still in favor of Lassie for a little bit.
Yeah, thankfully for them, still pulling off a really good job to be able to at least maintain a lot of the score lead that they're going to need going into this map. It's really just down to who's going to be able to keep the combo up, because we know that Lassie still has a pretty good combo, but even then, I feel that at any point there can just be some pretty fatal misjudgment going into this final section. We know that trooperr is a little more well-versed when it comes to Rice, but is there enough? I don't think there's really enough time anymore for LassieNoki to lose the lead anymore while going past 5,000 points nearly.
both players unable to get a full combo and getting the 2 misses. Oh, and Lassie actually getting 3 slider breaks, I suspect, but the misses were not as dirty as what trooperr got, and they are gonna get a 4,800 score lead right now.
That is a really good effort. Oh my god. Really good scores from both these players, though. I mean, it's not really easy to be able to FC a map like this, especially. But that aside, with the first
Definitely.
5,000 points going to LassieNoki's name, it's now their turn to pick, going off of that break point.
Yeah. I would expect a Rice here.
Oh, it's gonna be LN. Wait, why are they going for
Never
LN?
mind,
That's
I guess.
I don't think I really like this pick. I know.
An interesting choice.
Yeah.
They did ban LN too.
That's weird. I mean, I don't even know anymore. Okay, yeah. I'm not sure what to think about this pick because, like, actually no. I didn't even know what I was gonna say anymore. God damn it. Let's just watch the map, I guess. Oh god.
It's a very ambitious pick from Lassie after banning LN2 and choosing LN3 here. As you can see, a really rough start for Lassie, back to 98%. But trooperr isn't too far off with 99.6, but Lassie finding that early is gonna be not very good.
Yeah, LassieNoki taking that first drop, going to immediately just spell a bit of problem for themselves going into this map, especially since this is already going past the first core of the map. There's still a lot of time on the map left, however, so there's still a lot of opportunities that LassieNoki can use some moments to just try and... I don't even know anymore.
Accuracy. It's really giving trooperr a 7,000 score lead right now. It's not like very far off, but it's definitely very noticeable, especially with the accuracy. Lassie is trying to gain the accuracy though, so it's not. It's shrinking. The score lead is shrinking because trooperr did find some accuracy drops there. But because of that miss, trooperr still having a pretty solid lead. It's not very solid, but it's still noticeable. The map is gonna end in like 30 to 40 more seconds. But is there enough time? Is the question.
Yeah, right as you said, bro.
There is. trooperr finding the 200 there and finding the miss there is gonna give Lassie all the way back to 99. Wait, no, I mean all the way to 6,000 score lead. trooperr dropping all the way to 99.0. That is not what you want to see. Oh, we're back. Wait, I just saw we are back in chat, but hold on. Okay. Are you back?
Hello. Oh, dear. Okay, yeah. We apologize for that. We don't know exactly what happened. I mean, now we do, but oh god.
Wait. Okay, it's fine. Wait, we do need to know the score lead though, because it's kind of gone now.
It's a few thousand points in LassieNoki's side, or at least if I was to assume. Unless they missed on LN3 earlier, but yeah.
Alright, so right now it's 8,000 for Lassie. I think this is Lassie's pick again. What map is this again?
This is Hybrid Freeze, so yeah, this would be LassieNoki's pick.
Wait, right now trooperr's actually having the lead here. Never mind, they are gonna try to miss. But the lead is still slightly in favor of trooperr right now.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Don't speak too soon.
Don't worry, I'm not saying anything. I don't really have anything else to say, to be honest. I mean, yeah.
trooperr finding accuracy drops in these L1s is actually giving Lassie quite a lead right now. I mean, not quite a lead, but role players are dropping accuracy though. This is super close right now. Oh my god. Wait, this is like... This is dangerously close right now. Even if... Oh my gosh. Okay, I think Lassie has it by a mere 1,000.
Only 1,300 points. What?
That miss from trooperr was really unfortunate. Lassie and trooperr having the same grade count, but the ratio was what mattered, and of course the miss is gonna let Lassie get the score to 9,962. It's not close. It's close, but it's not like super close. Because right now we do see trooperr not doing the best at these LN/hybrid picks, and we still don't know what's gonna happen in the Rice maps.
Yeah, LassieNoki doing really well to be able to accumulate a lot of points so far, but even then, trooperr's been pulling a lot of straws to be able to make sure that it is not by such a massive margin. So, but despite that, it seems like trooperr's going to be opting in for Hybrid 2, so that's going to be Ego Trip being thrown out, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. trooperr, not any Rice maps picked so far. We are gonna go into the, I would say, a dump and tech hybrid. And here we go. trooperr is really looking for a comeback here, trying to keep attention. The score lead is definitely not too far off right now. It's still definitely in trooperr's hands to see whether or not trooperr can get this back. This is our 4th map. Again, I think this might go to TD, by the way. This might.
Potentially, yeah. It just depends on how much trooperr can at least try to ensure that LassieNoki doesn't get as much points as possible, because I think in a situation like this where you're going into this match where both players are just very equal in terms of like just anything that they play, it's really going to be, I think that is going to be the compromise that you really just need going into a match like this, especially since both players have just missed there so far. LassieNoki having a bit more of an upper hand, especially going past the 3,000 point mark, almost basically 4,000 point mark, as we can see, and trooperr actually dropping under that 99% accuracy mark, so it's going to be LassieNoki in with the bigger overall advantage so far going into the halfway mark of the map.
Yeah, trooperr finding those accuracy drops is gonna be quite rough. But, I mean, I think trooperr right now is really gonna look for a miss from Lassie here, or else score lead is just gonna extend, which is gonna be quite scary for trooperr. But they are trying to gain the accuracy. Score lead is not increasing, but it's also not really decreasing. But Lassie is just...
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Lassie's just holding. I was gonna say Lassie is just holding the 9.4. But oh my gosh, trooperr finding another miss. That is gonna be really... not very good right here.
Yeah, LassieNoki with definitely a bit of a bigger advantage than we've seen in all the other maps so far, probably because of how unorthodox a lot of these hybrid patterns are, especially with how technical this map is. But going into that ending, you have the final quad jack, and that is going to be it. LassieNoki getting 26,000 points in their favor. There is still quite a bunch of maps left to play on the board, but with this one being the... Yeah, okay, we're going into the second ban phase now, yeah. And trooperr's going to be opted in immediately for banning LN1, as we can see.
Yeah, immediately switching the strategy here. The LNs and hybrids have been not the best for trooperr. So now I really wonder, why did Lassie ban the LN2?
Probably because they weren't feeling as confident on it. I'm not sure. I mean, it definitely makes a little more sense that LN density is something that a lot of players, I feel, would not be as confident on it in comparison to other LN maps. But, yeah.
You see a ban from Lassie on Rice 5, so since every single hybrid and LN are gone, either picked or banned, we are only having 3 Rice maps left, which is gonna be interesting because we have never seen a single Rice map right now, and we will see Rice 4 by Lassie here.
I guess this is a bit of an interesting choice. I mean, this one being more technical when it comes to how a lot of the parents are just approached in this one. I kind of feel like this is a bit risky for LassieNoki, but I mean, no doubt they can play tech, but I also feel like trooperr is just as capable on this type of map as LassieNoki is, so yeah.
But oh my god, that early miss, again, a lot of these early misses do happen from Lassie sometimes, and hopefully that's not going to decide everything just yet, but this is what trooperr is looking for. Getting a very slight lead at the very beginning here. This map is not very long as well, only 2 minutes. So one miss can be quite lethal. Thankfully it's just the very beginning, so score lead is not super far off. Lassie having 9.5 right now, trying to catch up on accuracy. trooperr is holding the 9.7 at FCing the map. They do want a pretty nice score lead to start off with, to at least try to hold the tension. And here we go, second miss from Lassie. This might be what trooperr wants. A lot of break points in this stage, in this match, I should say. Lassie finding a couple of misses in these technical bursts that is gonna give trooperr quite a comfortable lead, but we're only halfway in.
Yeah, so far, both these players doing really well. trooperr taking another miss there that's going to bring the lead even closer to LassieNoki here. But even then, there's still quite a bit of time for both for the scoreline to be to at least remain on the side of trooperr. But even then, it flickers a bit and is now going onto the side of LassieNoki here for the time being. Going into the final third, there's still a hefty amount of time left in the map, especially when you've got a lot of these bursts and some of these jack control patterns thrown in the mix, especially going into the next quarter where you're gonna see a lot more of it, especially some of these like really dangerous angles which appears to throw off trooperr by a bit, as we can see.
Perhaps after having that early lead is gonna give it back to Lassie with that couple of misses. That is not gonna be very good for trooperr here. Again, the score lead is still very much in favor of Lassie right now. They are gonna take this map away as they do get the accuracy all the way back to 9.7 despite the 2 misses, and trooperr finding that last miss at the very ending is gonna even extend the score lead even more to 19,000, and now Lassie's gonna have a 45,000 score lead in total.
Yeah, a good effort from LassieNoki being able to prevent that, prevent that win from trooperr being, because especially then they had a pretty good advantage throughout a lot of the map, but even, and I don't know, making my words seem wrong again as usual, and yeah, I guess now trooperr's probably going to be making the final pick now, because at this point, they're going to really need to be able to use something that is in their best advantage against LassieNoki here, because they are only just 5,000 points away from at least making the victory and preventing that tiebreak from being played. And it's going to be on none other than Rice Free Yoki Sanmyoku, the final map that we've got going into this round of 32 match.
trooperr does need to hold on the 5,000 score lead from Lassie in order to try to force tiebreaker and at least somewhat get a comeback. But even then, even if they do get the TV, trooperr does need to get a total of 45,000 score lead in just this map and the TV. But again, Lassie keeps finding in very early misses. I wonder if it's keyboard or something, but again, another early lead for trooperr at the very beginning here.
Yeah, so far that miss from LassieNoki definitely going to cost them a bit of advantage going into this map. But even then, so far, there's both these players are still doing really well nonetheless. It's only really a 5,000 point lead in trooperr's side, so there can definitely be a lot of room for opportunities for LassieNoki to be able to get the lead back. But even then, trooperr at this point really needs some map to be able to at least match the scoreline of LassieNoki, which is going to be really difficult, because we've seen from both these players playing time and time again throughout this match, and there has not been a single map where you would look at the scoreline fake. There is just no way that you're climbing such an uphill battle. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but right now we are seeing both players holding a pretty solid accuracy. Lassie actually getting all the way back to 99.7 despite the bad miss at the very beginning. But trooperr is also holding their accuracy at 99.7, so score lead is still staying at trooperr's side. But again, is this really enough for trooperr to win the tiebreaker is the question. But looking at this right now, oh no! That is a miss from trooperr. That is...
Oh, okay. You can carry on, sorry.
Oh no, I mean, trooperr finding that miss is gonna give Lassie a... just about 5,000, and it is right now enough to get in. trooperr finding that another miss. It's gonna give Lassie a 12 to 13,000 score lead. That is gonna be over. I don't think there's enough time, and trooperr finding a couple more 200s there. It's gonna give Lassie the final... not FC, but... just missing at the very beginning and still got almost 990k. And that is a 62,000 score lead for Lassie, and that is just going to be a win for Lassie, and trooperr is going to be eliminated.
Yeah, despite the amount of effort trooperr has been pulling through a lot of these maps, especially to be able to at least prevent the likes of LassieNoki in being able to get such an objective point lead. At the end of the day, LassieNoki going to be punching their ticket into the round of 16 bracket, going up against either Ime or this other guy. Ime or Maycall Mayor. Apologies if I'm butchering that name really badly. I know I do it all the time. Anyways, yeah, that was the match. I suppose we can just end it off here. I don't really have anything else to say. Do you have anything else to say, Pompey?
I mean, not particularly, but just the best of luck to Lassie in here, and very good work from trooperr here. The accuracy is still fairly strong compared to the more... compared to other players in around their seed level. The accuracy is still definitely very remarkable. And yeah, best of luck to these players. And that is going to be it for the stream. We will be ending the stream there. And yep.
Yeah, thank
you guys next time. I think there is an A stream going on.
Yeah, there should be. Yeah, there is an A stream going on.
If you want to watch Silicosis versus Anthony, you can go to the A stream right now. I think it's still ongoing.
Yeah, it seems like it's still ongoing, yeah.
Yeah, right now I think Silicosis is getting a score lead right now. If you want to check it out, go check the A stream. The link is probably in the main Discord server. Yeah, that is gonna be it. Thank you everyone for staying around, and goodbye.
Yeah, see you all next time.